I watched a week away yesterday. Absolutely loved it. I love, like, my dream. I can't sing, but my dream would be to be in a movie musical. So it looks like so much fun. And I feel like it's been quite some time since we had a great summer musical movie. It felt kind of like Camp Rock, kind of like Teen Beach Movie. I was laughing because Kevin in the song, I think Diving In, and it looks like a scene from Bet on It. And then in another interview, you brought that up and I was like, oh my God, yes.
I love that you put that together because he has so much like Zac Efron in him that I don't think he's aware of that he has, which is so funny for us. It's kind of endearing that he like doesn't see it. But we're always like, we were like, ooh, that was like this generation's like Bet on It vibe, you know, and he like does those things. I'm like, oh, there he is.
Yes, and he was walking with that strut. I was like, this is very Troy on the golf course at the country club.
Yes, thank you. I agree.
Totally seeing eye to eye there. And for you, I mean, it looked like so much fun. It just looked like such a positive, fun, uplifting environment. What was it like to shoot a movie musical?
Yeah, it was exactly that. It was as uplifting as I can get. I love music just like you do. I had always wanted to do music, and this was my first step into that world. So it was a big dream come true. But we filmed in Nashville. We had 4 weeks of dance rehearsals and recording, and then about 4 weeks of filming. So it was a pretty like quick shoot. But we all just instantly bonded. And I mean, our crew was incredible. Our cast is obviously incredible on screen, but beautiful humans, you know, behind the screen too. And it truly was. We had the time of our lives.
And I know that you've actually never been to camp, but you do think that you'd be a great camp counselor, which I feel that energy from you, definitely.
I like kids, but here's the thing, like, I'm like me with teenagers as a camp counselor, I think I'd be way too intimidated. Like, I just couldn't do it. But me with like little kids, for like kids at camp, like, oh, I'd love that. That'd be great.
Little kids are always sweet and they always think you're cool no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I love them.
So since you never had your actual own camp experience, but you did have this amazing cast and crew of people around you, did you kind of feel like working on the set was in a way a camp experience as an adult?
Yeah, I did actually. It felt the closest to that environment that I had ever been in my life. It was also one of the first projects that I've done where I was surrounded by mostly people my age, and I was always the baby on every set that I usually did. So that was kind of nerve-wracking for me. I remember when I first got there, I was like, I hope everyone likes me and like, will we become friends? And sure enough, we did. And we're all such supporters of each other. But it did. I mean, we literally filmed on a campsite too, like recorded at the campsite, did the dance rehearsals at the campsite. So we were living a full camp experience, but I just, you know, we got to have a hotel after. So that was perfect for me. Ideal.
It's like glamping, the best of both
worlds.
Glamping,
yes, it was exactly that. Glamping for sure.
That's my style too. And okay, so you mentioned that you were used to being the baby on the set because you've acted since you were very little. Did you ever do musical theater growing up?
No, I never did. I always wanted to. I honestly started acting just because it happened, and it's been such a blessing in my life. And thankfully, I'm able to continue to do it, which is great because I love it. But I think when I was younger, I used to wear like red cowboy boots, and I used to just sing walking around the house, and I used to tell everyone that I was going to be a singer one day. And those were the words that came out of my mouth, not that I was going to be an actress. And so it's genuinely been like a little Bailee dream for so long. So it's kind of goosebumps that these songs are out and people are singing them and doing covers of them and streaming the music. It means more to me than they could know because it's a really special moment.
I'm honestly shocked. I always just assume anyone in a musical movie, like everyone's a multi-hyphenate, you know, so many people are so talented. I always assume, oh, you grew up dancing, you grew up acting, you grew up singing. So you sounded incredible and your dancing was great. So I'm actually very shocked right now.
That's very kind. Thank you.
That is amazing. Is theater something that you would be interested in doing at some point?
Oh yeah. I always say if New York wants to call and have me go do some Broadway, I will run. I will say I'm on the next flight. I'll see you there. I actually spent a lot of time in New York when I was little, and was so fascinated by Broadway shows, and Little Shop of Horrors was my favorite. And I used to wait to, you know, meet them on the little carpet outside the back door and get my autograph from them. And yeah, so the idea of that being full circle in my life at some point would be really special.
And something else that people might not realize about you and your talent. So you've produced 2 independent feature films, and you also were co-producer on this film. What do you like about going behind the scenes and producing?
I think just the idea that, when you're an actor, you're obviously your main concern is not messing up yourself and like doing the best job that you can do, and also being there for your fellow actors. But there's a sense of producing that I enjoy the collaborativeness of having to look out for every single person, and looking out for the story as a whole and getting to have that voice. And I think that's all kudos and props to the sets that I've been on and the crews that I've been able to work with. And I feel like I've just been a sponge and was so quickly introduced to the fact that it takes an entire village to make something happen. But for me, my mind, when I love something, I love the entirety of it. And so it's hard to shut that off. So I feel so grateful that I was able to co-produce this.
I'm like so impressed because you're producing, you just
Thank
started
you.
singing for the first time. Like that's amazing.
Thank you.
All around amazing. And the movie itself, let's talk about it. It's
Yes.
a really sweet, heartwarming, heartfelt movie. And right now is obviously a really hard time for a lot of people
Yeah.
around the country and around the world. And we're all looking for something kind of inspirational and make us feel better. This movie is so uplifting. And there's also a really cool spiritual component that we don't really see, especially in mainstream things like Netflix. What do you
Yeah.
hope people take away after watching this film?
Oh, I think, look, we created this movie before the whole world turned upside down. And even then, we felt like it was a void that needed to be filled, which was wanting people to just feel accepted and loved, and have the idea of hope and faith in their lives. And then the fact that now it's coming out in such an uncertain time where all of us are kind of having these internal struggles, or people are dealing with loss because of what's happened. I think our hope is that whatever they need to hear, the audience watching the movie, in it's somehow, some way, their hearts will be touched in the way that they need it to be. Because I feel like this movie was made with love, and it was made to love people. And I think now more than ever, we all just need to feel like we have a neighbor looking out for us. So yeah, I just hope it brightens the homes of many people.
I think that's such a beautiful message. And I think it really came across because, in addition to the spiritual side, like anyone can enjoy it because
Yeah.
everyone's looking out for each other in the movie. Like the adults are looking out for the
Thank
kids
you.
are looking out for each other. And it's
Yeah.
such a nice feeling of community almost while you watch it.
Thanks. It's been, the reception has been amazing. I mean, obviously, I'm a very faith-based person. I've been vocal about that my entire life, and so getting to be a part of a project that shared that side of my heart was so special. But I was raised to love people, and to not judge people, and I'm really proud of the fact that I do believe that this film will shed that message. If you're on that journey of your faith, you'll be able to relate to it and feel it and grasp it. But if you're not, and the reception from people who might not be on that journey, the fact that they've embraced this movie and said, this is just like, my heart is happy after watching this, and like I needed it. And there's just been an outpour of just support and love all together, and I feel like it's brought so many people together. And I mean, you can't ask for anything more than that. But that stuff's priceless at the end of the day.
And I think that kind of speaks to the actual message of the spirituality and the Christian side to it, that like it's
Yeah.
not about judgment. It's loving
Yeah.
everyone who comes to the table. It's really,
Yeah.
really cool and special. And okay,
Thank
so
you.
I know you grew up in a faith-based family and it's very important to you. What did you take away from making this movie?
Oh man, I think for me, it's just, to get to be creative is what I love to do. And then to get to feel like there's a purpose behind it as well, beyond just, doing a project that might do well or people might enjoy. I mean, that is really special. And so I think, we made this movie before Netflix, brought it into their home and their family. And it was really just a little movie that could. And so I think that it's moments like this that are very, pinch yourself of, all right, just keep doing what you believe in. Everything works out for a reason. And keep sharing your heart from it. I feel like that movie spoke to a lot of us in that sense, is that you can make a film that's full of love and still have it be embraced on the platforms that everyone is constantly streaming, and have it still be cool and relevant and interesting. And so I think we all just feel very humbled and grateful to Netflix for taking that leap of faith with us.
I think it's awesome that they did. And I think everyone would like this movie. And okay, so this movie just came out during pandemic. You and your boyfriend turned 21 during pandemic.
Yes,
I know you said you drank a lot of water and ordered a birthday stash on Amazon, which I love.
I did. Thank you. I did. I ordered a crown as well. I did do that.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, you got to be the birthday queen. Respect.
I was like, I was filming in Vancouver. I was fortunate enough to get to film, one of the first productions since the pandemic has happened. And So I was in Vancouver for about 2.5 months right before my birthday. And it was like, I was wrapping and I was like, Amazon one night, it was like midnight. I was like, you need to go to bed. You have work in the morning. I was like, birthday sash, crown. And I got it. I did. I walked around with it with my mask. It was one of my best looks, to be honest.
And listen, we all need like a little extra fun. So I say good
Yes.
for you for embracing it.
Thank you.
And so that's like a very memorable thing to happen during the pandemic. Have you had any other favorite memories that you've made during a time when it maybe seemed in the beginning like there was no fun to be had?
Yeah, I mean, little and big ones. First of all, I feel so grateful that I've been able to be healthy during this, and my loved ones and my family. That to me is, I mean, we'll forever cherish the fact that that has remained. But I would say just like the hidden little moments of getting to be home and sitting with myself and spending time with my family, time that is really hard to get when your schedule is usually so booked in advance. And so that's been a big, big, big blessing. And he's asleep right now, but I would say this is a big bundle of joy. Had the pandemic not happened, I wouldn't have been able to foster him and then adopt my new little puppy Busby. So he's been, the latest addition to the family, and has proven to be a great sense of joy in a time of, sometimes such sadness.
That is so sweet. And I saw that on your Instagram and I meant to ask you about him because I
Yeah.
have 3 foster cats.
Oh, I just saw one poke his head out and I didn't want to be unprofessional and ask about him. So I bit my tongue.
No, I have a
That's
little 2 over
great.
here in my studio apartment, 3 large old cats.
That's amazing. They actually, the foundation is amazing. They wrote me yesterday and they were like, do you want to foster again? And I was like, yeah, that is a lot of work. Like now I've got one, I'm very impressed, but I do think Buzz and I will foster again sometime soon.
That is so sweet. And I feel like they always call them the resident pets when like he helps you foster, but then you also might end up with a second dog.
I know. Well, that's why.
That's the struggle.
That's the only reason why I didn't say yes to fostering yesterday, is I was like, I physically cannot end up with a second dog. And he was the second one that I had. And the first dog that I fostered, I actually gave to one of the producers on A Week Away that, is one of my dear friends now. And I gave it to him and his family and then kept the second one. So it's like, I either have to know who I'm going to give the third one to, or just know the fact that I'm going to keep him or her.
You have to keep them in your life somehow. So you can
somehow, that's the thing. I just want people to visit them, know where they are, know what's going on, check up on them. That's all that matters to me.
I love that you did that. And I think fostering is such an, like, if you have the means to do it in the pandemic, it was such an easy way to feel like you're doing something,
Yeah. My sister and my brother-in-law and my little nieces got COVID right away. And so my boyfriend had left town, they got COVID. And so I was just isolating alone for about a month and a half. And I was like, this is crazy, like no work, also just worrying about the world and then just sitting by myself. And I'd always wanted to foster and just never was able to because of my schedule. And so I was able to start doing that. And man, did I latch on to that idea. I mean, I sobbed when the first one left, like for about 2 days straight. And the funny thing, I can visit her at any point. She's literally 10 minutes up the street and I still sobbed. So like I was very emotionally attached.
That is so sweet. And now you kept the second one. Foster fail, as they say. The best
foster fail right here.
Bailee, I love that we have that in common. And it was so lovely to talk to you. It's been so nice watching you. You were so cute in the Drake and Josh Christmas special, and now you're so talented. And I'm just so happy for all your success.
Thank you so much. I mean that genuinely. Thank you.
My gosh.
This was lovely. It was like a catch-up date.
I know.
I'm gonna end this Zoom and text Sam and be like, was I way too chill? was I just talking like I was just on like the couch? Because that's what it felt like. But I was like, that's okay.
That's always my goal. I want everyone to feel like we're like friends,
Oh yeah, no, we're friends. We're good.
Amazing. You were awesome. This was perfect. Thank you for all your time you gave me. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
I appreciate it too. Thanks for doing this and for loving me. Of course.
And good luck with the rest of promo and everything.
Your sister said hi. Thank you.
I will.
Okay, good. All right. We'll see you soon. Bye, kitties.